You all make your way back to Rin's Fane. And as you do, you can kind of see Celeste waiting for you. Her tail kind of shifts and moves, and her ears perk up. And she sees that you've got a donkey and a cart laden with supplies. It seems like you had quite the adventure. Most of you are looking quite good and different. Notice the police and also Dag, you look like somebody slit your throat.
I hate birds, but I love them also.
What happened?
Down the trail, there's some Belisard-size birds that decided my throat looked tasty.
Well, I hope you put them out of their misery. If they're on the trail, then they'll be dangerous to everyone. If they really shouldn't be left alone.
That's what I said. No.
I suppose Vastian is continuing to impress Father.
There was only one left when we managed to get out of there, but...
Yes, until next year, yes.
Don't worry, it'll be soon enough. When I'm back down that trail, we'll take care of it.
And you did all right with the hurricane, I suppose. It was quite a mess here.
Oh yes, we rushed to the tree and managed to escape the worst of it.
That is good. That is good. And what happened when you arrived there?
Well, we got there and stored our animals away, and police with the stinger of the last queen opened the door, and we were invited in. After this, we went through the halls and eventually ended up meeting a large bee we would later know as the queen. And after we talked to it, it gave us some strange vials of liquid, I believe. Who was it Iris and Queso that got some?
It's a beeswax vial, contains a really sweet red liquid.
Interesting. Maybe you could have Mother Rin take a look at it.
And after speaking to this creature is when me and Felice went up to an altar in the room and offered up the stinger.
Did it go well?
It did not.
She looks over to Felice. I see one of you is a bit more bee-like now. Is this related?
Indeed it is. The creature took up the stinger and impaled Felice with it.
She impaled Felice with it, you say?
Yes, all of us tried stopping it, but it just shoved us out of the way. And
how is she
into...
still alive after this? That stinger was not small.
She was bleeding pretty badly and was stuck into a cocoon. Well,
honeycomb.
Honeycomb, yes.
Fascinating. And then what happened?
The bee made us dance.
It made you dance? Was this some sort of ritual or something?
It was trying to communicate.
Very interesting indeed. And so what became of your friends here?
We waited for an amount of time, and eventually she came out of the honeycomb looking as she is now. And it seemed it took quite a toll on her, and she fell fast asleep not long after emerging. We were brought to.
I'm sorry, just clear my throat. Go ahead.
We were brought to some place further up in the tree where they take care of the babies or the larvae.
Hmm.
And what was that?
I was just thinking that was very nice. Did you finally get your map then?
Fortunately not. Apparently, the Queen considered changing Felice a debt. And that to get my wish, we needed to help her with some other task. I named a few things, namely
Sorry, if
some
I recall Felice's word, changing Felice paid off the debt B owed for you killing that owlbear. But then we incurred another debt by sheltering there for the storm.
So, stabbing Felice in the chest is what led to the debt being paid.
Yes.
The bee considered it a favor.
She looks back to Felice, and Felice's antennas kind of bob in the wind, and her wings flare, but she doesn't say anything. I suppose she is an ancestor now, so maybe this is a worthwhile trade indeed.
It's the first of many more, I hope.
More? Why do you say this? Is there more ancestors there?
It seems in more of those honeycombs bodies lie.
And will we have to do a favor for each one?
I'd hope not.
Considering that converting one was considered paying a favor back, I would assume each one would be considered a favor.
Or once the dangers in the area are cleared, so that they might become accessible. I have a feeling they won't want to give away those bodies and risk them being killed right away.
Hostages it is then.
Who knows? I don't think hostages, more caretakers. They seemed to consider Holloway as their master.
What if we just kill all the bees and take the hive for ourselves?
That would be quite brutal.
Difficult.
Why is this? Is there many bees there?
There are many bees. Over, I think I counted 200. And they're all the
Plus,
size of a person.
and we don't know
Or
what kind
bigger.
of we don't know what kind of impact that would have to the local environment.
The environment is ours to take. Those giant bees I do not think existed before we left. But,
They did have the eyes of people inside them, so maybe they're ancestors that got left behind.
well, if they are monsters now, I do not care much.
There was that ant we killed that turned into a humanoid. So perhaps in the future might be some saving them.
Perhaps, but if we cannot, freeing them from their curse is the least we could do for them. But it sounds like it would not be easy to clear this hive of bees.
Yes, the trials that she spoke of, mainly there was 3. There's some wasps attacking them that look to destroy the hive. Some ants who also have a similar nest of bodies there.
Wasps.
Hmm?
And she said the biggest threat was the wasps.
Yes, the biggest threat is the wasp, but there's also the ants nearby that
And what was
might
this
be
third threat?
the giant creatures.
Say that again?
The lizards, we saw some of them attacking the ants as well as we came back.
So lizards?
Isn't there one that turns things to stone and eats them?
Yeah, 6-legged lizard that turns things to stone and then eats them.
So a 6-legged lizard that turns things to stone. Ants. Bees. Lizards?
And wasps.
Wasp, and what else? Anything?
Those giant creatures to the south, I imagine
Hmm.
something similar to what we killed to get to Fen. To
Ah.
Rinsvein.
Of course, of course. Is there any other information she gave you on any of these creatures?
That the giants pour out of the valley to the south of the tree.
I see. And how does this creature turn others to stone? Is it a spell it cast?
Apparently looking at in its eyes will do so.
Most dangerous indeed.
Yes, any travelers who see a six-legged reptilian creature nearby might want to avert their eyes from the forest as much as possible.
Is there anything else you discovered on your journey then?
On the way back, there was this strange slug creature who spoke in our minds.
It was at the edge of the woods on giant toadstools and mushrooms.
You just talk about it, Felice covers her antennas.
Lord Vastian's fiance.
And my brother is getting married to a slug?
No, a
It
giant
certainly
bee.
offered.
Go ahead, the slug. Yes, the slug.
Celeste looks really confused, but you see Bastian is sort of half asleep as he's
A
over in the
marriage
corner.
a marriage proposal was extended, but Vastion ultimately decided to decline.
Oh, I see.
It was an interesting creature and seemed to assail Felice's senses of pheromones and almost instantly put her to sleep.
More overwhelmed her.
Yes.
I see. Is this thing a dangerous threat? Does it need to be killed?
It is possibly, it could be. I would not say to trust this creature, but it could be useful in attacking creatures that smell like ants.
Before she passed out, she did warn us about the creature and not to trust it. We weren't able to garner much more conversation with it, but it did seem to be trying to lure us closer to it.
I see. And do you know where this...
Best avoided.
Best avoided then. And where is it that we can avoid it?
Currently on the trail at the edge of the woods.
Here and there, everywhere, it feels.
I see.
At least of the lines it gave us, it seems it travels around.
Well, avoid it when you come across it then. And I see you have a supplies and a bird with you now.
Yes. Yes, this is Ayune.
Ayune. The glowing bird lets out a squawk. Well, did that camp that you found survive the hurricane?
Mostly.
Mostly. The foodstuffs were destroyed.
There was ingots and weapons that survived, but the carriage that was there is repairable, but not usable currently.
It's only going to get worse over time. All of it is.
Yes. Maybe on the way back we should bring some extra wheels for that cart and bring back all the metals.
Very well. And that is everything then?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, I shall allow you to speak to Mother Inn if you wish. And I thank you for your service and work today.
Is there anything you wish to add, Iris?
No.
Celeste bows.
You covered most of it.
And with that, we'll end this session.